Nike results are out. The stock is popping right now, up a little bit more than 8%, 7, 8%, fluctuating. Let's bring in Oppenheimer senior analyst Brian Nagel as we go through those results. Get ready to bring it to you. Brian, nobody was expecting a stellar report here, but I guess there's some optimism for new leadership and perhaps as long as margins aren't eroding too much and discounting isn't getting out of control, there's a strong brand here.
No, look, good afternoon. I think that's exactly right. I mean, the real key here is, in my mind, is that expectations for this quarterly report from Nike were quite subdued. Okay, and we were telling our clients that as we got ready for the report. So I've not seen the numbers yet. I mean, obviously, we're seeing the stock bounce rather nicely here. But look, in my view, we've all talked a lot about the struggles of Nike. I think the brand is intact. I think the company's now much more focused on product innovation, reestablishing relationships with key wholesale partners, and we have a new CEO of the company who's going to speak on the conference call here, the next hour or so. So I think the setup is quite good, even if the results themselves are still weak per Nike standards.
How much?
Well, let's not leave you in suspense any longer. Courtney Reagan has those Nike numbers. Court.
Hi, John. Yeah, they were coming out there right as you were getting to Mr. Nagel. So let me get them to you here. The Nike earnings per share coming in at 78 cents. The street was looking for 63 cents, so better than expected by 15 cents. Revenues also slightly ahead of estimates at $12.35 billion. The street was looking for 12.13. Still down, though, about 8% for those revenues year over year. Second quarter gross margin for Nike also above expectations at 43.6%. The street was looking for 43.3. Remember, that's important because we anticipated a lot of elevated promotions in the quarter to clear through some of that merchandise. And the company had warned us that they had not been seeing great traction in their stores and websites. So that's better than expected. Second quarter EBIT margin, 11.3%. The street was also looking for 9.3%. So far here, a much better than expected report. As Brian was saying, we expect to hear from new CEO Elliott Hill on the call. The street really wants to hear about his expectations and strategy going forward. That's where largely the focus will be. We usually get an earnings guidance or forecast on that call. Remains to be seen if we'll do that today because of the new CEO and a potential new strategy, but we'll bring it to you and comb through the details here while you're having the conversation. Pop back on with anything relevant. Back over to you.
All right, Courtney, thanks. Brian, now that we have the numbers, to me, mildly educated, the gross margins at 43.6%, a little bit better than expected, maybe the most encouraging thing.
No, definitely. Look, I think Courtney did a great rundown here. I mean, as I'm listening to these numbers and starting to look at them here on my screen, look, this is very much better than feared. Okay, so I think that's a big positive. And like you're saying, John, the gross margin, Nike had cautioned that gross margin could be weak with some promotions. It seems like they were probably overly conservative there. Again, a sign of a smart company. But I definitely, these results were definitely better than feared. I think that's why we're seeing the stock pop so nicely here in the aftermarket.